It was almost midnight when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. Half asleep, I reached for it and squinted at the screen. A message from my girlfriend. Just one simple line, casual on the surface, but sharp enough to cut me open. She said she'd be spending the night at Tyler's place. No reason, no context, just that. For a moment, I stared at the glowing text, wondering if I was still dreaming. Tyler wasn't just some acquaintance. He was someone I had trusted, invited into my home, grilled burgers with in my backyard. That trust now felt like a weight pressing hard against my chest. I tried to convince myself it was harmless. Maybe it was a group hangout. Maybe she'd just worded it poorly. But deep down, my gut screamed the truth. This wasn't the first time she'd pulled away, chosen someone else over me, left me feeling invisible in my own relationship. Sitting in the dark, the phone's light washing over my face, my first instinct was to call her and demand answers. But then memories of the past few months rushed in. The excuses, the cold looks, the way she seemed absent even when she was right beside me. A phone call would only hand her another chance to spin lies. So instead, I typed one short reply: "Don't bother coming back. You made your choice, and now I've made mine." My hand trembled as I hit send, but I knew every word was true. The minutes afterward stretched endlessly. My heartbeat thundered while I waited for her to respond. When the screen finally lit up again, it was with a flood of messages. She insisted I misunderstood, claimed I was overreacting, swore it wasn't what I thought. But the more she typed, the less convincing it became. Her words sounded frantic, not honest. If she'd had nothing to hide, she would have been clear from the very beginning. Instead, she turned it on me, accusing me of being paranoid, insecure. That only cemented what I already knew. I didn't reply. I turned the phone face down and let the silence speak for me. For once, I wasn't pleading or searching for explanations. I was finished. If she wanted to spend the night at Tyler's, she could stay there for good. The next morning, she showed up at my door. She looked exhausted, maybe even desperate, but I didn't let her presence sway me. I asked her one question. Why did she think it was okay to tell her boyfriend she'd be at another man's house at midnight? She had no real answer, only stammers and half-truths. In that moment, I realized the relationship hadn't ended with her text. It had ended long before. I had just refused to admit it. I opened the door wider, not to welcome her in, but to show her the way out of my life. She cried, begged, promised explanations later, but I had given her too many chances already. I told her to leave. This time, my voice carried no anger, just the final weight of closure. The days that followed weren't easy. I replayed it all in my mind, wondering if I'd reacted too fast, if I should have waited for more answers. But every time I pictured that message, I knew I'd done the right thing. Love isn't only about holding on, it's also about knowing when letting go is the only way to save yourself. That night, I chose me. It hurt, but it was the only choice that made sense. Now, when I think back to that midnight text, I don't feel rage anymore. I feel clarity. It was the moment I stopped pretending, the moment I finally listened to the truth my heart had been whispering for too long. Her words said she'd be at Tyler's. My reply told both of us that I was done living in denial. She didn't see it coming, but it was the only answer I could ever give. Because sometimes, the only way to protect your heart is to close the door, turn the page, and move forward.